Hey friends, welcome back to Giggle and Grow. I hope you're doing well wherever you are, whatever you're up to right now. I'm so glad you're here. I have honestly been down super sick all week, which is why there was no episode last week, and I'm still recovering, so please forgive me. However, it is just me today, co-host Morgan. Courtney is not here today with us because she has been celebrating all things bridal era, and it's just been a really busy couple of weeks. So I am going to come on and just share a little bit about what I've been wanting to really share with you guys and my followers and those that have been following along on my journey. So today's episode is a special one because I am going to take you behind the scenes of my small business journey. How MoSmiles started, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. If you've ever thought about starting something of your own, whether it's a business, a creative project, or just putting yourself out there in a new way, I really think you're going to connect with this episode. If you have followed Daily MoSmiles, seen some of the content out there, MoSmiles has truly been nothing but a beautiful blessing in my life, filled with so many moments that have shown me that although this journey is really hard, you can do it, and it's so worth it. One of the biggest highlights has been selling actually over 300 crew necks in our first year at Cafe 13, where I have been working full time for the last year and a half or so. Just actually put in my last day on March 6th, which is so sad. I am actually full of emotions about that and haven't really wanted to process that I'm fully done there yet. So we'll talk about that more in another episode. But I had the amazing opportunity to actually bring in my Your Smile Sunshine crew necks to test out what it would be like to sell them in person. And like I said, such a blessing, you guys. Really, there was so many smiles and so many stories that I got to personally hear through just selling sweatshirts, which is just crazy. I mean, just to say that out loud is just beyond me. But let me tell you, hearing those stories is what makes this journey so special. I'll actually never forget my very first sale at Cafe 13. It was a mom and a daughter. They were on their yearly vacation. It was this time to Colorado, and every trip they actually buy matching sweatshirts to remind themselves of that particular trip. And it just so happened that this time they had seen those Your Smiles Sunshine sweatshirts on the second day, and they had said they knew they were the ones. So moments like that is what it's really all about here. Now, when it comes to online sales, I won't sugarcoat it, you guys. Things are slow in the beginning, and even now, a year and a half in, I don't get sales every single day, but something that never gets old, something that really does amaze me still, is seeing the names and locations on every single order. MoSmiles has made its ways to places like Australia, Canada, Maine, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Minnesota, Florida, Iowa, Nebraska, even New York. I mean, I could go on and on here, but your purchases, your support, it truly means the absolute world to me. But even more than that, what makes me happiest is knowing that with every order, you guys are the ones spreading smiles in some way. Being your authentic self, and that is what MoSmiles is all about. Now, I would be lying if I said I knew everything or how to grow a business, so I have definitely learned a lot in the past couple of years. And honestly, about myself, about healing, about what it really means to show up for the people I love while also showing up for me. I've always found it easy to hold space for others, to be that person who listens, who helps someone work through something they've been holding on to, who makes them feel safe enough to be vulnerable. That really does come naturally to me. But when it came to myself, I wasn't doing the same. And the thing is, when you spend so long neglecting your own needs, even if it's unintentional, it starts to show up in ways you don't expect. And it doesn't always look like exhaustion or burnout right away. It really does sneak in slowly. I've thankfully learned that I can do both and that you can do both too. That I do come first, and that realization has come from learning what I truly love, what brings me joy, and what rest actually feels like. I used to think that being busy meant I was being productive, that if I stepped away from work, I was losing momentum or even that motivation that I had. But that is not true. Rest isn't a lack of motivation, it's a necessity. It's something you do for yourself and not against your goals. And honestly, being a business owner has really tested that lesson. When I started MoSmiles, I wanted to grow it as fast as I could. I had so much passion for it and I just wanted it to work. But the reality, I had no idea what I was doing half the time. I didn't know how to take content, how to market, how to get eyes on my shop. But what I did know was MoSmiles' purpose. I knew that if I just kept going, I would put a smile out there somewhere. But trying to balance all of that, building MoSmiles, working a full-time job, keeping up with life, it was so easy to put myself in the background again. And I did. I pushed and I pushed until I hit burnt out. That was a hard moment because I realized I still love what I do. I love this business. I love creating. I love connecting with people through MoSmiles. But I also had to learn that loving what you do doesn't mean you have to exhaust yourself doing it. And I'm still learning how to rest, how to balance, how to love me. But if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that these harder moments, they show us just how capable we really are and that we can learn to do both, work toward our dreams while actually taking care of ourselves too. We compare timelines, we tell ourselves we're behind, we look at what others are doing and think, why am I not there yet? But the truth is, your journey is yours. Your pace is yours. And no matter how slow or small growth might seem, it's still growth. Because every single step you take for yourself, for the people you love, for the future you're building, is healing the version of you that needed you right now. So that's kind of where all MoSmiles began there. Now, to really take you back a little further here, I actually first made the leap to start MoSmiles after my husband and I quit our jobs. We celebrated getting married with all the people we loved and took off on our 6-week adventure through Europe. We actually spent 2 weeks in Greece exploring Milos, Mykonos, and Santorini. And actually, let me tell you guys, Milos stole my heart. I would go back there in a heartbeat. Santorini and Mykonos, it is all the hype. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous, but there was something about Milos that just felt homey, felt welcoming for the most part. The beaches, the beauty, the nature, the homes, the culture. I mean, just all of it. I would, again, just go back there. There's just something about it. And I suggest anyone that's able to take a step back to go there. And you need at least 10 days. Now, after we did do Greece and we did all of that fun stuff, we actually then rented an Airbnb near the Amalfi Coast for an entire month because somehow a whole month's rent there was cheaper than what we were paying back home in Colorado. And honestly, again, worth every single penny. It was both my husband and I's first time going to Europe, so that actually made it even more special. And we did actually decide to go right after our wedding, the day after. So it was all kind of one big show, one big hurrah. And although it felt like a lot, it was also just a really, really big memory that we get to hold on to and look back on because as it felt then, it would be hard to step away now for that long of a period. And we would make it work. We said we will again, even if we have kids. But again, life gets harder as you go. So, and I was also thinking the other day too about our trip and honeymoon and wedding and just that chapter of our lives. And I mean, guys, I was 24 at the time. And does anyone else feel like they're still too young to be doing stuff like this? Like, how am I out here traveling the world without needing my parents' permission? I remember being 16, praying for the day I'd had the freedom to do all this. And suddenly there we are. And we get to live that. We get to live with the decisions that we make now, good, bad, in between. And it's just such a cool experience to be this age, even though I will admit it's some of the hardest years of my life. Now, when we got back, reality did unfortunately hit pretty shortly after. We were both searching for what was next, and that's when the people closest to me, the ones who had always believed in me, started pushing me to finally create something that I've always talked about. Now, I did start talking about wanting to start a positive affirmation page. That was actually for years, and ever since college, I honestly knew I wanted to start a business called MoSmiles. I just didn't know what it was going to quite be yet. So one day, I was out with a friend and we hopped on a FaceTime call with one of her really good friends. He actually works with a distribution company for merchandise out in California. And we were casually talking. And so this was just kind of honestly casually thrown into the conversation. And he was like, Morgan, you should really turn your coats into apparel. And that was kind of the moment it really did all just click for me. It all just came together. And funny enough, a couple years even before that, I actually did dream of starting an Etsy business too, but I thought it would be more journals, note cards, things like that. I even bought a Cricut at one point thinking I'd make my own products, but when I realized how much work it was going to take, I sort of let go of the idea amongst corporate job, moving to Colorado, all the new things that was happening, planning a wedding. But when he mentioned crew necks, it was like everything fell into place. And crew necks? That made sense to me. I've always been the girl who comes home and changes into cozy sweatshirts immediately. There's no second thought. I am changing out of my going out clothes and I am putting on my sweatpants and sweatshirt. And I've always felt like buying a new crew neck was worth it. Like I don't remember ever going home and being like, I shouldn't have bought that crew neck. What a terrible choice, right? And I'm sure a lot of you can feel that same way. So crew neck's always worth it. So I did say, let's just do it. Now, my husband helped me set up my LLC, and we did start very slowly, creating a few designs, figuring things out as we went. And in October of 2023, we finally launched our very first Your Smile Sunshine crew necks in yellow and terracotta, which I thought at the time were the perfect fall colors. Now, butter yellow, it is still our most popular selling Your Smile Sunshine crew neck, so I definitely knew something was there with that one. But the name of MoSmiles, that was a no-brainer, like I said. I had always known it would be called that, but looking back, if it weren't for the people in my life who encouraged me, for the conversations that pushed me in the right direction, and for the random moments that connected all the dots, I don't know if I would have taken that first step. Every single person who has believed in me, cheered me on, and supported this brand in any way has led me to this specific moment. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that through the tough moments, through learning things I've never thought I'd know how to do, like building a website, this journey has taught me confidence. It has taught me to lean into my authentic self. And most of all, it has reminded me that this is bigger than me. Because spreading smiles, building the most loving community, it takes more than just one person, and we really do need each other. So, like I kind of mentioned before, sales are slow at first. I had the most amazing supporters in my life, friends, family, people cheering me on, but it wasn't like I was getting orders from a bunch of random strangers right away. And honestly, that was a hard realization. I thought I'd have this really cute sweatshirt that I love. Everyone else is going to love it too, right? But then hard stop. It's not just about whether people like it or not, it's about whether they're even seeing it. And that's when I got my first taste of the algorithm. Let me just say, learning how to actually get my product in front of people has been a journey, and I know it's going to take me years to fully understand. Social media, SEO, figuring out what actually works is all trial and error. And some days it feels like more error than success. Then there's shipping. Oh my gosh, you guys, shipping is wild. If you've ever bought anything online, you know the pain of those extra costs. But being on the business side of it, I don't know how these shipping companies get away with it. And don't even get me started on the international orders. The fact that there are customers out there that have already purchased from other countries from MoSmiles is just absolutely astonishing, and one of the most rewarding things in my career as well. Like the fact that you guys will pay $22 on shipping to receive one Your Smile Sunshine product. I mean, it brought me to tears the first time I saw that. And then every time after it was just even that much more exciting. I just really couldn't believe it. I can't believe it. So again, I thank you guys so much. And I truly hate making customers pay for shipping. So one of my biggest goals is to be able to offer it in the future. We do have a free shipping code right now, which helps, but I can't wait for the day I can automatically offer free shipping on every order. But honestly, all of that, the algorithm, the shipping struggle, back end logistics, is frustrating, but it's not the hardest part. The part that has tested me the most, content. Social media is everything for businesses today. Is how people find you, is how you connect, is how you grow. And I put so much pressure on myself because I know that if I don't show up consistently, my business won't grow the way I need it to. But here's the thing. I struggle with vulnerability, and I didn't know how I wanted to put myself out there. I didn't know how to build trust with my audience. I didn't know how to market myself or even know where to start. What are hashtags? Do I put text on my videos? What kind of audio should I use? Oh wait, now I need a different audio for TikTok, but I hate all the trending audios. So now I'm stressed, and that is a repeated cycle for me. And then, of course, after that follows the views. I'll post a video I really love when I put so much time in, and I'll get 200 views. Meanwhile, someone else will post something that seems so effortless to me and it blows up, and suddenly, hello, imposter syndrome. So guys, you are not the only one out there. I mean, whether it's for business or influencers or those just wanting to show their day in the life, I mean, content is hard and you are not the only one. Imposter syndrome is real. But remember, Imposter syndrome just makes you question yourself, and it makes you wonder, why isn't my content taking off like that? Is my brand not good enough? Am I not good enough? When you really take a step back and remind yourself, this isn't easy, and I didn't sign up for easy, and the reality is, you're running a business, and truly, consistency is everything. Second guessing yourself only slows you down. Trial and error will take you so much farther than waiting for the perfect strategy. And at the end of the day, no one is thinking about it as much as you are. I'll be honest, I'm still figuring it all out. I haven't had a viral video in the year and a half I've been in business. There are things I want to do but struggle to actually make happen. And my perfectionist tendencies, yeah, they definitely get in the way. For the longest time, I was using an iPhone 11, so my video quality could only be so good. And angles still matter. So long story short, nobody has it figured out. But the key, you have to want to try so badly that you keep going anyway. You have to push through the frustration, the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, because one day you're going to look back and realize, I made it. And I think in life, we're always going to be chasing something. There's always going to be another goal, another level, another next step. So really, it's just about learning how to enjoy this moment right now while we're in it. Honestly, balancing everything in life has been really difficult. Like I said, it's tested me, pushed me to burnout, and taught me the importance of loving myself just as much as I love the things and people around me. But what really helped me, what got me through, wasn't just pushing forward blindly. It was leaning inward, allowing myself to feel everything, letting the emotions out, and embracing the hard patches instead of running from them. It was knowing when to take a step back, when to face life-changing obstacles head on, and when to ask for help. And at the core of it all, it was the people around me. When you find the community that truly sees you, not just for your strengths and accomplishments, but for your whole self, including your weaknesses, the moments you'd rather hide, the days where you feel like you don't want to do it, it changes everything. I wouldn't have made it through this past year without those people, and they know who they are. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that you can't expect others to just know what you're feeling. Even the people who love you the most, the ones who have always been there, even from a distance, can't read your mind, you guys. You have to be willing to share those moments. You have to say when you need help. You have to ask for that space to cry, to vent, to be heard. Because more often than not, the people who love you, they want to be there for you too. Some people will come and go in your life, and that's okay. Every person you cross paths with is there for a reason, some for a lifetime, some just to help guide you to the next chapter. But even with the best people in your corner, those deep feelings don't just disappear. So when I was juggling everything, social media, podcasting, full-time work, MoSmiles, being a friend, being a wife, I had to learn something huge. I can't pour into everyone else's buckets if mine is empty. I've had to ask for a lot of grace, from myself, from others. I've had to remind myself that I can only do so much, that I don't have to be everything for everyone, that it's okay to step back when I need to. And sometimes it's about quality over quantity, you guys, with people, with experiences, and even with memories. So if there's anything I've learned through this journey, it's this: choose kindness, choose forgiveness, and choose love, because this world needs it so badly right now. And if I can do anything, I hope it's spreading a little more of that. When I first started getting messages from people saying they had seen someone wearing a MoSmiles crew neck out in the world, whether it was at a coffee shop, a concert, or just walking down the street, it truly made my heart explode. And then when we started growing into other stores, that's when things started to feel surreal. It's the feeling of wanting more, not in a selfish way, but because I know what these little moments mean. The smiles they create, the connections they spark, it's unmatched. It's a gift to see someone light up, whether they needed that little bit of extra warmth that day or were the one to give it to someone else. Because the truth is, you never know what someone is going through, and sometimes the smallest things, a kind word, a meaningful message on a sweatshirt, a simple smile, can really go the longest way. So to kind of get back on how to really balance it all, aside from the people in your life, but more in a business mindset, I try to time block, and while it helps in some ways, what I've really found out works best for me is breaking my larger to-do list down into 3 to 5 key tasks each day. Depending on what they are, some days I tackle more, some days less, but I've realized that strict time blocking can sometimes do more harm than good for me. Some tasks can take way longer than expected. When I keep pushing projects back, I started feeling like I wasn't doing enough, which wasn't true at all. My best looks different every day, and that's something I've had to learn to accept. I think that I wish I knew when I started, and the advice I would share is that no one has it all figured out. The businesses you look up to, you often don't see where they began. A business, an online presence, or a community, it just takes time, a lot more patience, consistency and trial and error than you think, but with time, it will work out. So don't give up on your dreams. People will connect with your brand and your mission because you're you. You don't have to be anything more than that, but also be willing to learn from others, try new things, take risks, fail more than once. Prices might be higher than you thought up front, but if you truly believe in what you're doing, take the risk anyway. And most of all, trust the process. Pray a lot. The only one who truly knows our timeline is God, and more often than not, He's already placing you in the exact moments and spaces you need to be in to get to where you think you want to be. He knows. And deep down, you do too, so don't let fear steal that from you. Keep going. As for what's next at MoSmiles, you guys, we are having our very first pop-up event at Orange Theory at the Applewood, Colorado location on March 29th. It's coming so soon. So if you haven't been before, I believe you can sign up for your first class for free. So if that's your way of working out, make sure you're there from 7 to 12 p.m. that day. Co-host Courtney will actually be there helping me spread all the smiles, good times, fun music, exclusive deals, and of course the coziest crew necks. Literally all of my favorite things. And if working out isn't really your thing, just come shop and hang out with us. We can't wait to see you. And even more exciting news, we just found out that MoSmiles will be at the Cherry Creek Farmers Market in Colorado near Denver this summer. I literally have always dreamed of selling my own products at a farmers market. The whole ambience, supporting small businesses, summer vibes, it just really brings me so much joy. I'll share more details as soon as I can, but I'll have exact dates very soon. We're also working on new spring designs and some big goals for the year, so who knows, we might just be popping up in places near you this year. So stay close, make sure to follow us on the Daily MoSmiles so you don't miss a thing. We love sharing all the behind the scene moments and keeping you updated as much as we can. There is so much fun ahead, you guys, so I seriously can't wait. And at the end of the day, building MoSmiles, navigating life, and balancing all the highs and lows has really taught me that growth isn't just about the big milestones. It's in every little moment along the way. It's the lessons, the struggles, the people who show up for you, the joy that comes from doing something you truly love. No one has it all figured out, and that's okay. What matters is showing up, staying true to yourself, and trusting that every step, even the uncertain ones, are leading you exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you for being here, for supporting this journey, for spreading smiles in your own way. So until next time, keep showing up, keep believing in yourself, and never forget that even the smallest moments can make the biggest impact. I love you guys. See you soon, and have so much fun next week with Courtney. She will be doing her own solo episode with you guys, and there's going to be a lot of special things that she's sharing. I will be in the Bahamas having a much needed beachy vacation, so like I said, we'll talk to you soon.